Oh, hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Short Sale Power Hour. Today's Effed Up Friday. I brought my buddy Lee Harnish back to share an effed up story of his from his days at IndyMac Bank.
First and foremost, I don't spend time with people who don't know about short sales. If I'm in my free time, I'm hanging out with Weaver and Kauffman. There's one reason. That's because they know what they're doing. But so they wanted my most effed up story. It's one of the most famous ones. I've done it in my seminar. We actually shot it as a movie for one of our videos. It is the basic hot cold technique. Right now, you guys get the laundry list of terrorist demands. I always joke and say that it's always sponsored by Wells Chase at B of A. You know, wow, you know what? I spoke to the investor, and based on the Freddie Fannie guidelines, we'd like to let you know you have both ends of the deal. So we only pay 3% commission, and we got the financials. We need an unsecured note for the remaining balance, and we got our appraisal back, and the appraisal's for a lot more money. We'll need $10,000 more from the buyer. Now, that's how they do it these days, okay? Now, back in the day when you had for all of you Mesozoic era real estate agents who like to convince people, oh, I don't need any training because I've been doing short sales for the past 450,000 years. You know what? Kiss my ass, all right? I'm saying it straight up. You know what? Prior to 5 years ago, you dealt with asset managers like me. And we asked you 4 questions. What's the value? What's the offer? What do you pay in the first? What do you pay in the second? Send me a deal done, okay? That's, by the way, how you can tell a real player. Now, 4 or 5 years ago, when the market turned, Chicago, Detroit, you know, those bad markets, we brought in these processors to handle the paperwork. And back in the early days, yes, I took all my calls. I did all my own processing. In fact, that's how I got my office. It scared my supervisors when I'd scream at agents all day. So I wound up, and by the way, in the world of the bank, to get an office, that's huge.
It is. I worked at a bank.
For an asset manager, it's huge. The best you'll ever get is a double wide. All right, so I'm sitting behind my desk.
Double wide cubicle?
Yeah. Okay. So it's a Friday, 3 p.m. And by the way, never call a bank after 3 p.m. on a Friday. Nobody who can make a decision is there anyway. Best you'll get is a call center in the Philippines. But you'll get an email on that one.
Oh,
I'm sure you will.
Go ahead.
I used to get that one in my first seminar. Did he make a joke about a Philippine call? Have you talked to these people? How many Mr. Smiths are there in the Philippines, for God's sakes? All right. I digress. So this guy calls me up 3 p.m. on a Friday. He goes, yeah, I'm really glad I got a hold of you. The sale, I know you guys are getting close to a charge-off and stuff. I've got the offer. I'm going to lose the buyer. They want to close, blah, blah, blah. Can you take a look at it? So I go through the stack. I pull this thing out. I'm working on my fantasy stats because I don't work after 3 p.m. I just collect money. And I look at the deal, and in second position, the guy's offering me 80 cents. It's a $100,000 deal. He's offering me 80 grand straight up. Right. The guy's like, well, what do you think? I said, you know what, I'll review it, hold on. So I put the guy on hold. It's 3 o'clock. I probably picked up the phone about 3:45. Guy's still sitting there. All I was doing was finishing up my fantasy stats, to be brutally honest. I had a first place team that year on Yahoo. And
public league or private?
No, public.
Wow.
When they actually ranked the entire public league.
Wow.
Yeah, I was way up there.
That's impressive.
I'm very proud of that fact.
As a fantasy expert myself,
I finished 25 overall, and there were a couple million on it that
Wow.
Yeah, thanks. All right, so here's the thing. I picked the guy up after 45 minutes, and I said, you know what, I've reviewed the file, and based on what I'm looking at, IndyMac's going to have to decline the deal. Have a nice day. And I hung up the phone. The guy called me right back, and he said, did you just hang up the phone on me? I said, well, yes, I did. I can't, give you a counter. That would be a RESPA violation. Sir, you wouldn't want me in RESPA violation, would you? And I heard this, well, no, I guess I wouldn't. And I said, okay, good. Have a nice day. And I hung up the phone. The guy called me back and he goes, please don't hang up on me. I've really got to close this deal. I'm desperate to close the deal. I'm going to go back and talk to all the people on this and see if I can find some money. Will you not throw the deal away? I'll call you back in about an hour. Will you still be there? I said, you know what? For you, I'll be here. 30 minutes later, the guy calls me back. He goes, I talked to the buyer's agent. He's not willing to cut his end. I've talked to the buyer. He's not willing to come up. If I give you a point of my commission, will you take the deal? I said, please hold on. It was about 4:15 at that point. I waited till 5 o'clock so I didn't have to take any more calls.
Good.
I picked up the phone at 4:59. I said, send me the amended HUD. We don't do it for everyone. By the way, scripted line. We don't do this for everyone, but you know what? For you, I'll make an exception.
Wow.
Came close to making 90 cents on the dollar by the end of the deal. I'm actually proud of that one.
You should be. That's effed up, you guys. Guys, this guy worked. He's talking about from the inside of a bank. All you HELOC negotiators, we're on to you, okay?
Here's
we
the,
know.
Here's the
Trust
thing.
me,
Most
we
of you
know.
right now just get the list of terrorist demands because I'm going to be brutally honest. You guys are too stupid. If we declined a deal, you'd walk away. So we had to let these little processors give you that stupid list. And again, every time they say something, I hammer on this lately. This is new this year. Buyer, seller, you. No matter what they say, you can put it into your head. Buyer, seller, you. What did they just say to me? Well, they're telling me something about the appraisal and blah, blah, blah. That's the buyer. Well, they're talking about, unsecured notes or what's going to be on. That's the seller. Oh, wait, commissions, the private investor. Oh, Bob the investor and the guidelines. And I got both. That's you. All right. Every question they direct at you is to get at one of those three items, and that's the one to remember.
All right, guys, you heard it straight from the horse's mouth. We're going to wrap it up Lee's favorite way, what he loves to do. Short Sale Power Hour chant. You ready, Lee? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Short Sale Power Hour. Short Sale Power Hour. Crush it.